Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're getting into some makeup and body care purchases from Ulta and Sephora. I couldn't wait for sales, so I just picked up some new things and things I've just been wanting to try or repurchases of products. I'm going to be trying out two new foundations. Well, one of them's new to me. In this video, I picked up the very much hype Haus Labs foundation. I have the shade 50, which is Fair Cool. And then I'm trying out the new Makeup by Mario foundation, and I have the shade 1C. This is the Surreal Skin. It does have little micro shimmers in there. It looks like, at least from the bottle. And then I picked up a couple of highlighters, including the new Charlotte Tilbury Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter in Moonlit Glow. Love that packaging. And not a new product, again, Haus Labs. This is the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Pink Amethyst. That's so gorgeous. I also picked up a couple of mascaras. I have a volumizing one and a lengthening one. This Max Stack mascara is a repurchase. Got it at Ulta. I got the full-size version because I liked it so much. And I wanted to try this YSL Lash Clash mascara. It's a volumizing one. I got my Sephora birthday gift. I have a late December birthday, and this is what I got. The Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara Mini, and then a mini size of their multi-stick at last. I've heard a lot of good things about this mascara. I don't know anything about the multi-sticks. Looks like it's a cream pinky blush product. So that's that. And the body products I picked up, I got, well, this is a skincare type of deal. This is The Ordinary. They have it at Ulta now in stores, multi-peptide lash and brow serum. If you guys want a budget skincare line, check out The Ordinary. And also a couple of body lotions, because I always need body lotion. I'm always looking for a good exfoliating lotion, and I wanted to try this Glow Recipe one. This is the Watermelon Glow Pink Dream Body Cream. I was searching Sephora for good AHAs, and a lot of people seem to love this one. And then I got the Moroccanoil Body Lotion. No AHAs or anything like that. This is argan oil with aloe. So I'll give you my first impression thoughts on everything. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you all swatches first of all the products I picked up that have color in them. So I'll show you swatches of the Haus Labs foundation first. A lot of people have been complaining that the Haus Labs colors are off, and I would say I only have purchased this 50 Cool shade, 050 Fair Cool, and when I swatched it, it looked yellow, and it does slightly look kind of neutrally yellow-ish, and the name doesn't line up, but I tried this on for the first time yesterday. It looked okay in my skin, so I'm sure that won't always be the case if you're super fair, but or cool, maybe not, but this wasn't that bad. I would say it's a little yellow for my liking, but I didn't hate it. So that's the swatch of 50. Feeling the texture of this guy again, it feels more like a typical foundation, like a liquidy foundation, but there's some dewiness there. It's a little bit of like, I don't know, not lotion in it, but there's something in it that makes it a little moistury. That sounds terrible. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, but it feels slightly unique. And then this Makeup by Mario one, I have the 1C shade. I haven't swatched this one yet. I'll show you on my other arm here. This one in the bottle all looks a lot more cool, and I can already tell this swatch is also going to look a lot closer to my skin tone and not yellow at all. So you guys can see the difference. These are both cool shades on the very light end of the options they offer. Sometimes I think about not picking the fairest cool shade but then I rethink things. So these are both very cool ends of the spectrum for both brands. I can see the Makeup by Mario one is already a better match from the swatch. Feeling this Makeup by Mario one, this one feels glowy too, and even more moisture-y, more skincare-y. Sorry, that's my stomach. Yeah, so these are gonna be interesting to try out, compare them. What do I like? It's always fun to do a foundation comparison. You know what a better idea might be? I'll use 2 foundations on 2 different sides of my faces and we can get this all done in one day. I'm losing a lot of light though, so that might be a problem, but oh well. I can tell you what the Haus Labs foundation felt like after wearing it all day yesterday. What it looked like, and I can show you a picture after the all-day wear test. All right, so I'm going to show you the swatch of the 2 highlighters. So this is the Face Architect Moonlit Glow. I was a little worried about this one not being fair enough, but it's perfect. I really like this highlighter and I've liked it ever since I swatched it. It's so pretty. But I'm sure I'll get into the details as I apply it. But that's what that looks like. And then the Haus Labs, obviously it's hard to compare because they're very different colors. They're also very different formulas in my opinion. This one doesn't quite as smooth, a little bit of a thicker shimmer, but still easy to apply. And a different finish there. Isn't that pretty? So those are the 2 highlighters, Pink Amethyst. And my Ilia multi-stick. This is At Last. Here we are. Ooh, that has some drag to it in that swatch. I'm not sure that I would love this for the lips. It feels a little bit dry. Definitely for the cheeks. All right, I've convinced myself that I'm gonna apply 2 foundations on my face. I'm gonna go out in public after this, so that is that. I'm going to apply both of these with a brush first and then see how it goes and follow up with whatever else I need. I'm gonna be using my Lisa Eldridge foundation brush. And I'm gonna start with Makeup by Mario on this side here. And oh, I forgot to put a primer on. Oh, well, I've had skincare on all day. This will be a true test of just the foundation. I'm gonna try my best not to over apply. Let me read to you what this foundation is supposed to do. The Surreal Skin Foundation is my complexion masterpiece. I put my heart into this groundbreaking formula with the hope of creating a barrier of foundation, not creating a barrier of foundation, but rather awakening the true infinite beauty that lies within. Okay, I feel like I need a little bit more on my brush. Okay, I think I have good amount of product on, probably too much. And I'm gonna use another brush to blend it in, the Sonia G Classic Base. I feel like maybe because I didn't have a primer, but this seemed to dry down rather quickly. Maybe it wouldn't be that way if I applied it with a sponge or my fingers. Not really sure. Maybe it's just a today thing. First impressions though. Seem to kind of dry quickly. I don't want to blend it, you know, all off, but I think I put an appropriate amount of product on my face there. That's not bad. I know I have the ring light on. I'm really relying on it right now because it's the end of the day and the sun is pretty much gone. But it looks good on the ring light. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't see a lot of shimmer, and I didn't see a lot of shimmer in the actual swatch. So I don't think it's like glittery foundation, but there's a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not like super glowy or wet or like moistury. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Okay, let's move on to another one, the Haus Labs. So this is the 50 shade. Not a perfect match, but when I tried it yesterday, I actually thought, oh, this isn't bad. It's not that off actually. But we'll really be able to tell from one side or the other when we have a shade that actually matches very well. And I think I need a little bit more on the side. I think I really hesitated getting into this new Haus Labs brand. One, because it's fairly pricey, but also I'm just skeptical of Lady Gaga's makeup since it started. This version of her brand seems to really be very well liked though, so I had to try this out. I have seen her highlighters in person. They are very tempting, and her bronzers are as well. I do feel like though when I swatched things in the store, it looked very glittery, but once I got this home and I tried this pink highlighter, it's actually not that glittery. Maybe some of the other ones I tried in person were. Okay, so we have that nice and applied. I feel like this side, this Lady Gaga Haus Labs side, I don't know if I use more product or a little goes a long way, but it looks like there's more coverage with this side. What do you guys, yeah, I think that's pretty obvious, but I'm gonna blend it out. We still have to do that, same brushes. All right, so blending this in. With a brush. I don't want to over blend because that's when things start getting patchy around the nose, so I'm gonna stop there. Wow, I honestly like both of these. I would like to experiment a little bit more with both of them. This was with no primer and it still looks pretty good, just straight away. I think there's a little bit too much blending happening here, but both look pretty good and lay down very nicely, even around the nose. Yesterday when I tried the Haus Labs and wore it all day, it wore very well, except the places that I touched my face, like my nose, it kind of wore off a bit. So I don't know that it's fully like transfer proof or anything, but it looked pretty good at the end of the day, and I'm liking the way it looks now, even without a primer. Can you guys tell that this side is more yellow than this? I don't think there's a huge enough difference. So that's why I was saying, like, I don't think, even though it's slightly yellow, I don't think it's that far off from to match my skin tone. So even though it appears slightly yellow, it might be fine. I know it's hard to tell and it's expensive to sort of try out, but Sephora does offer, I believe, samples you can take home if you want to try out the color at home before you buy the full thing. But yeah, I like both of them. I would say they're solid medium coverage. I will have to try them more to give you more fully developed thoughts, but they look nice, they apply nice. It's always good for me to find foundations I can apply with brushes and not just sponges. So this looks pretty good. All right, I'm not gonna apply any powder. I'm just gonna try these different highlighters. Using my fan brush here, I'm gonna try this Moonlit one from Tilbury. So I think this is pretty impactful just with a little swipe, but you can really add more and get even more sort of sparkle and shine out of it, like really beaming. I like the shade of this. I think it's nice and icy, and it's just pretty. It's a really pretty highlighter. I think the thing for me though with powder highlighters is they don't last on me that long. I feel like I touch my face and stuff, it just doesn't stay forever. I also feel like I can't just rely on my fan brush. I need to sort of use a different brush to blend and buff it out so it doesn't look like this narrow streak on the cheek there. So I think this is a stunning highlighter. It's not in your face, but if you want it to be, you can keep adding more. Is it worth $58 or whatever? Like $50, whatever it was? Probably not. But it's pretty and I like it, and I will be using it. This Haus Labs one, I'm also really liking. I'm gonna do a little bit of a layering because I think actually both of these together is really nice. Look at that. This is a totally different effect, multi-chromey, multi-dimensional effect. Kind of an orange and pink gold going there, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love both of these together. I didn't think I would like this one that much because sometimes pink highlights are totally hit and miss. So I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit more. Look at that, I'm ready to go. I can leave the house now. Alright, so I didn't plan to do a check-in in this video, but I am filming now 6 hours after applying both foundations, and I have to say one side definitely has a lot more coverage than the other, and that is the Haus Labs. I think you can kind of see even from this far away the Makeup by Mario's side is just lighter, and I can definitely apply another layer, but not as much coverage. I took some close-up photos. I'll go ahead and put those in. So I mean, both sides either way look really good. Look fairly decent, even after this many hours of wear. Now, it was not hot, I wasn't sweating, I did eat, otherwise, you know, I didn't do a lot of activity, so nothing rigorous. I always touch my face, so that's always an issue. So there's a little disturbance around the nose. I didn't really powder, I just put on the highlighter. I also have no primer, if you guys remember, so I think I have my pick of what I prefer so far, but I will have to try both of these a lot more. So the Haus Labs just has more coverage. This side just generally looks better. A tiny bit of patchiness, just not evenness on the nose, but usually use powder to help with that. But otherwise, I mean, even though there is blemishes coming through, it doesn't look horrible. So really both of them are very good anyway, at least from what I can tell. And the color didn't seem to really get darker on me, which is good. And I just can't complain. Now, I do have some thoughts on the highlighter because you guys can see it's pretty much, it's not gone, but a lot of the beautiful effects are gone. And I'm seeing a lot of glitter flakes in this hand mirror here that I did not see as much before, but what's left behind, I think it's the pink. It's the Haus Labs highlighter that's got some noticeable pink micro glitters in there. I think when it's actually freshly applied, it looks a bit better, but I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like, oh my god, there's glitter on my face, but I do see quite a bit of shimmer on this area. But you know, that happens with a lot of highlighters with me, where the kind of that top coat wears off and you get some remnants of shimmer and shine. But otherwise, I didn't do much else with my makeup. I know I didn't film beyond the foundation because I had to go, but I put on my brows, which not new, not part of this video. I did use the YSL mascara again, the volumizing mascara. That's what I have on my eyes. The only thing, the Lash Clash, second time using it, it's really not a bad mascara. I tend to clump a lot. I do think there is some good volume, but it's not enough length for me. I feel like I need 2 mascaras. But if I do want volume, this isn't bad. I'm just gonna show you what it's like though. And I'll tell you what I thought about removing it last night when I tried it the first time. So here's the brush. I honestly, when I pulled out the brush, I was like, oh, I feel like I can get this brush at a drugstore. This is like the L'Oreal Voluminous. Very similar. So if you look kind of all the way around, it's pretty uniform brush all the way around. You know how some mascaras, like one side is different. This looks all the same. Maybe it's like slightly longer and slightly fatter than some of the other drugstore stuff. I would say this was a very quick lash to apply, and it's definitely one of those that the brush is a little large, so I was touching my skin with the product, so I was getting some mascara on my lids. But that happens pretty normally. If you have very short lashes, you're more likely to just touch your skin because you're trying to get so close. I will say removing it was a bit of a challenge. Not a challenge. It takes more time to remove. It's not one of those easy removing mascaras. I know it's not tubing, but there's mascaras where you just put on a little oil cleanser and you're good. So I did that, used my Clinique, take the day off, and then I hopped in the shower, removed all the rest of my makeup, had pretty bad raccoon eyes after I got out, and it wasn't really just rubbing off, so I had to go in with the makeup remover again, and then I was able to remove all of it. So it's a bit stubborn. I don't know if there's oils in here or something, but it is not super easy. You might have to go over it more than once to really get it all out, and it's not just going to remove easily with water. So I wanted to point that out. If removing mascara is a big deal to you, that is that. So here's the component. This is an expensive mascara. I mean, it's luxury. It's last 6 months. We have 0.3 fluid ounces, 9 milliliters of mascara in here. Let's compare the Max Stack. This is 12 milliliters. It looks smaller, but this is more product in here. And 0.41. Actually, these are probably similarly priced. Let's look at the price of everything at the end, and I'll give you my final thoughts, first impression thoughts. I really like this one though, so you know, we'll see. I'll have this as a backup. I bought a lot of mascaras at once, and then I just kind of stopped using them. I should do a whole mascara video. I really like the Jones Road for a while. It has to me, a unique brush, like a very curvy brush here. I was loving that. This has been so long since I've used it. I'm sure this is not good anymore. 14.7 grams. I'm looking at sizes now. This YSL one is so small. This is bigger than this guy at the Jones Road. The e.l.f. one I wasn't mad at. This is 9 mils, similar to the YSL, the Big Mood. I did not like this brush. This is way too thick and clumpy for me. This is one of the most expensive mascaras I've ever purchased. The Junkay. What is this? I don't even know the name of it. It's like you're supposed to lengthen your lashes. Not worth it. I do not think this is worth it at all. And it has the most basic brush. No thank you. Anyways, tangent there. Let's get into the cost real quick of everything, and then I'll get into the body products, and then I'll do first my thoughts. Clash Extreme Volume, $29. The Max Stack, $28. So, I mean, these are very, MAC isn't really considered a luxury brand, but these are the same price for the mascara. I know this one is popular. I'm pretty sure this one is too, but I like this one. I'll go ahead and show you the brush. I mean, the brush probably looks the same to you, but it's not. It's a plastic one. The YSL is more of like a typical sort of, not plastic, but like a spoolie type of brush. I don't know how to describe it. Like there's hairs like this. That's kind of like the YSL. The MAC is actual plastic, like thick plastic pieces. That helps me with lengthening quite a bit. So that's the cost. There's $1 difference, and the YSL you do get less product. Okay, so going to the cost of everything else, let's look at the Haus Labs. Haus Labs is sort of mid-range to expensive. This is $45 for 1 ounce of foundation. Standard size, $45. It's up there. I mean, not Sephora standards. I mean, there's foundations. The La Mer is $100, but $45. We're getting up there. This packaging, the component, the pump reminds me of Hourglass. I mean, Hourglass bottle is different, but it's a really nice glass bottle. It looks fancy, so I like that. I kind of like the caps, you know, kind of cool, but I like this. This feels a lot less consistent with the foundation packaging, but I like it. It's a little cheap and plasticky feeling because it's not like super lightweight, but it has a nice smear. It doesn't seem to be a pop out or refillable or anything. The highlighter, so this is $40. Very expensive for a highlighter. But it's pretty dang good. So I don't know. Try it in the store. I was tempted to also get the bronzer of this, which is $38, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm not really into bronzer that much right now, so it's winter. I don't need it. The Charlotte Tilbury, $48, so more money than the Haus Labs. I'm gonna compare sizing between the airbrush powder and the highlighter. Ooh, you get less product. So you get 0.24 ounces, 7 grams of product with the highlighter. With the airbrush, flawless finish, you get 0.31 ounces, 9 grams. So think about that. I will say I never really run out of highlighter. You don't use that much of it, so you don't need as much. Still, that's almost $50. Let me get into the price of these body products real quick. So this is the Moroccanoil Body Lotion. This is $28, and you get 360 mils of product, 12 ounces. I was impressed for this kind of nicer lotion, the amount you get, which also encouraged me to purchase this. And then with the Glow Recipe, I didn't really know this product existed. I actually haven't purchased a lot from Glow Recipe at all, besides like the mist, their setting spray. To me, it's very much all about the smells with this brand, which, you know, it's nice temporarily, but I know people swear by it, so I'm sure it's great. I just haven't gotten into it. And I have tried their exfoliating product in the watermelon range, which I thought was fine. But the body lotion, so this was $29, and this is 240 mils, 8.11 fluid ounces, which it's not huge, but I like the reviews on it. It looked good on Sephora and people seem to like the smell. So usually these sort of chemical exfoliating lotions smell horrible. The texture's bad. So yeah, anyway, $29 for that. Obviously you get a lot more product with this guy. It's a little bit more though. So all right, let's wrap things up. I haven't tried this long enough yet. I have noticed a little redness on the inner corner here, so I'm a little bit scared to keep using these things. These lash serums can really irritate. So I have not tried my birthday gifts. I'm not going to try it in this video. I just want to quickly mention those again. Before I get into my final first impression thoughts on the makeup, I'm going to show you the texture of the Glow Recipe lotion. It is pink. It is, I wouldn't say it's thick, but it's definitely not runny or watery. I think it's a nice texture. I do prefer things to be on the thicker side with lotion. I think this feels fabulous. I love the texture. I haven't used it long enough to see brightening results. I like to brighten the age spots on my chest, so I'm really like looking for this to do that. It smells wonderfully fruity, but not overwhelming. Like once you rub it in, it's not gonna really last. I think it's nice and light. It starts out really fresh, but it kind of dissipates. But I like the texture of it and the smell. I mean, it's not a lot of product for what it is, but if it's the kind of thing you're looking for and it's pleasant, it makes me happy. So first impressions, happy with this. This guy, on the other hand, more of a watery texture, a runnier lotion, which I didn't expect, but it does say lightweight hydration argan oil with aloe. I picked the original fragrance and I'm kind of regretting it. I feel like this is more of a summertime thing because it's lighter weight. And I had, so here is this one, and it's definitely has some more watery texture to it. This guy, it's weird. I like the smell of it before you rub it in. And then when you rub it in, like it's got a nice clean scent, slightly musky, similar to the hair oil. But once you start breaking it up and rubbing it in, there is a release of a animalic smell, slightly human, that I do not love. It's not super unbearable, but I guess my nose is fine-tuned enough for me to, that it sticks out, that I don't love that. It's very slight. Some of you may not notice it. I'm pretty picky though when it comes to scents, and I find that aspect of this lotion pretty distracting. Again, it's not some body lotions, like I notice the scent like for maybe a minute and then I don't notice it anymore, so it's not that big of a deal. I will still use it. I wish it kind of smelled better, but they do have different scents, so maybe skip the original if you're kind of iffy about it. Animalic kind of leans toward a weird sort of, it smells like a human musk that's maybe someone that hasn't showered, or a body odor kind of scent, that animal kind of smell some people really love. I get sort of a humany vibe, which also to me smells like BO. So it comes out when you rub it in. If you do like a pump in the store and you want to try it, just make sure you kind of do a good rub in and smell it again and see if you still like it. I find that with a lot of lotions that are supposed to be the same as like a fragrance, for example, they're never exactly the same. There's always a different sort of quality that comes out. So I just want to point that out. I wish it was a bit richer, but it's still nice. It's still usable. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. So let's get into the makeup. What do I think? I think I'm gonna have to keep testing. If comparing both sides, I'd say Haus Labs, the coverage, this side looks better than the Makeup by Mario. It's possible that the Makeup by Mario side is not as medium coverage. That's why a lot of my blemishes are coming through. It's possible that It needs a little zhuzhing, it needs another layer, it needs powder to help it last, but this one just did not hold up. But at the starting point, they really weren't equal looking on my face either. So I could have sort of applied more to sort of make them more equal, but I felt like that wasn't really fair. So it is what it is. They are different, right? None of them are, either of them right now are not 100% perfect. 6 hours later, there is some yuckiness around my nose, and I don't like how much the foundation has broken down on the Mario side. But things are very decent except for this area on the Haus Labs. I did eat, so I'm gonna kind of ignore some of the chin area, some napkin usage, but otherwise things look good. As far as the highlighter, I like how the Haus Labs looks at the beginning of the night versus what it has left on my face now, like random pink glitter. I don't love that. It doesn't seem to last. I do like this highlighter quite a bit from Charlotte Tilbury. I think for every day, if I had to pick one between the two, it would be this one, just because pink really can't go for a lot of looks. It can go for some, but I think I would get a lot more use out of this color. And also I like that the formula doesn't start out super strong. You can build it up. I like that about it. And it's just pretty. The packaging's of course pretty. Because of the expense of this, and now that I've tried it, I don't feel the need to like pick up all the colors or more colors or anything. It's not like the best highlighter I've ever tried, but I really enjoy it. So if you're a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan and you want to pick this up, I think you're going to like it. It's just a matter of picking out the right shade for you. If you want very strobing, like extreme highlight with very minimal product, this is not it. This is buildable, which I think is actually better and gorgeous. So I like this one. Maybe I would like the Haus Labs in a different color better. Maybe the glitter remnants would not bother me as much if it was more natural of a color and not pink. That's totally possible. I mean, they were really pretty when I first applied them though, so I can't complain too much. Do I think these are worth it? I would probably skip this one if I were to do this all over again. Even though I like the way it looked, I don't like the glitter on my face. And I think that was my first hesitation when I swatched this in the store months ago, is that there was a lot of glitter to it. So, oh well, I mean, sometimes you should trust your gut, and that's probably what I should have done. But I mean, it's pretty. It's just, you know, think about how much glitter you want on your face. The mascara. So I mean, I'm going to continue to use it. A lot of times what I think about mascara changes after first few uses. I mean, it's fine. I don't know that I will pick this up again just based on the first couple times. I prefer this guy, but they sort of do different things. All right, so I will have to update you in a future video my continued thoughts on these foundations and let you know, and hopefully be able to show you what these are like in daylight. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.